ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Siboga TV, which is your number one online political channel. Things are not working out for Fred Okengo Matiang'I in the united opposition because it looks like Rigathi has actually fully decided that the person who is going to be the presidential candidate for the united opposition is going to be Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka. And because Rigathi is actually the one who is calling the shots in the united opposition, it is going to happen that it is Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka who is going to be the candidate for presidency in the side of opposition. But Fred Okengo Matiang'I has been proposing that the united opposition should actually form a fair team, and this team will come up with rules so that those rules can be used to choose fairly about the person who is going to carry the flag pair or bearer of the united opposition so that he can stop at the presidency late come 2027 against William Samoei Arap Ruto. But things are not fair, and things will never be fair within the united opposition because Rigathi has decided that it is going to be Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka who is going to be the presidential candidate for the side of the united opposition. And because Rigathi is now calling the shots in the united opposition, everybody doesn't want to offend him. Everybody wants to make sure that he doesn't offend Rigathi so that Rigathi can actually propose him for the top seat in the united opposition. And Rigathi is making all kinds of remarks within the united opposition. And those remarks, from my opinion, they are making united opposition to suffer and not to be in the position to make the candidate who will be chosen at the end to go against William Samoei Arap Ruto to win the 2027 presidential election. And as I have said, the reason for not having any strong man enough to tell Rigathi that you are becoming too much, you are becoming unreasonable in the united opposition, because every person or every leader within the united opposition want to be proposed by Rigathi. That is why all of them, they are keeping quiet. And now the person who is going to suffer most is Fred Okengo Matiang'I. That is why Rigathi has never proposed Fred Okengo Matiang'I for the top seat and has never shown any sign that there is the existence of Fred Okengo Matiang'I in the united opposition. And that's why severally we have been seeing Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka, Eugene Wamalwa, and Rigathi doing united opposition campaigns without the presence of Fred Okengo Matiang'I. Why do you think Rigathi Gachagua is giving Fred Okengo Matiang'i is back and he doesn't want to acknowledge his presence in the united opposition and doesn't want actually to give any chance to Fred Okengo Matiang'i so that he can also get that fair way, probably to be picked and to be the presidential candidate for the united opposition, let come 2027. One of the things that makes Rigathi Gachagua to ignore Fred Okengo Matiang'i is that Fred Okengo Matiang'i, from the word go, never heed to the advice of Rigathi Gachagua. Because all along, Rigathi Gachagua had always wanted Fred Okengo Matiang'i to form a political party which has its roots from the Gusii Nation. But Fred Okengo Matiang'i never heed to this advice, but he went forward and actually came up with the Jubilee Party, which has the roots in Mount Kenya. And now Fred Okengo Matiang'i is using that political party to stop at presidency, let come 2027. And because he never heed to the advice of Rigathi Gachagua, that is why Rigathi Gachagua now, he is giving him his back and he doesn't want to acknowledge his presence in the united opposition. Second, because Jubilee comes, or Jubilee belongs to the people of Mount Kenya to some extent, because the person who is running Jubilee is the former president, Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. And it all looks like if Rigathi Gachagua could actually accept the presence of Fred Okengo Matiang'i in the united opposition and probably aid him to run for presidency of this nation under the umbrella of united opposition, then he is going to be the main challenger, the main competitor for DCP in Mount Kenya. And Rigathi Gachagua doesn't want that to happen because he wants to enjoy the entire Mount Kenya as a region. That is why he is not giving Fred Okengo Matiang'i any chance to compete with him. That is why he is giving a deaf ear to Fred Okengo Matiang'i. Another thing which makes Rigathi Gachagua to give Fred Okengo Matiang'i a deaf ear is because Fred Okengo Matiang'i, his character is actually so much rigid. And Fred Okengo Matiang'i is not a person who you can misuse easily. He is not a person who you can direct. And Rigathi Gachagua fears that if Fred Okengo Matiang'i becomes the president under the umbrella of united opposition, then Rigathi Gachagua cannot be able to use Fred Okengo Matiang'i the way he wants. He cannot be able to be manipulated. And because of that, that is why Rigathi Gachagua is facing towards the election of Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka, because Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka can easily be manipulated. That is why he now feels that in the united opposition, and he has decided probably the person who will be the presidential candidate will be Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka. And that is of late. He is talking that they have made agreements with Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka. And recently he alleged that DCP will be in control in the Nairobi County, because it is the party which is going to fill the political positions within the county of Nairobi. For example, he has said that it is DCP which will have candidates to vie for governorship, senatorial, and MPs, and even the county assembly members of parliament. And it looks like Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka agreed to this so that he can be made to be the presidential candidate of the united opposition. But I am very sure Fred Matiang'I cannot agree to such a greedy demand. He will actually oppose it. And that is why Rigathi Gachagua doesn't want to give Fred Matiang'I any chance to be the united opposition candidate late come 2027 general election. What is your say about this relationship between Rigathi Gachagua and Fred Matiang'I? Please drop your message in the message section below. And if this is your first time to bump into this YouTube channel, please subscribe, hit the notification bell, share this video to your friends, and if they are lovers of politics, please request them for us to subscribe to this YouTube channel. And for those ones who have already subscribed to our YouTube channel, I say thank you, may God bless you, because you really give us the inspiration to continue coming up with this kind of political analysis. And with that, I say thank you, may God bless you, until we meet in our next political discussion. Goodbye.